So let's go now to talk about skills, Monica. So what kind of skills a person has to develop in order to become more disciplined?
Um, that's actually an interesting question because you don't need any skills to create self-discipline. Self-discipline is the skill. So from a
Okay.
philosophical perspective that we can kind of like play with this question, but I don't think there's anything you need or, you have to develop the skill. That is the skill in and of itself. So it's like a very meta question.
Yeah. So are you open to create some discussion around that? Because I think I have some ideas around that. So I'm gonna tell you. So let's have brainstorming ideas in this direction. Because I'm really looking forward for the next part when you're gonna put a lot of your knowledge and help people to become way more practical with that. But let's talk about this part of skills. I totally agree that self-discipline is a skill by itself. But like everything else, right? Everything is a skill by itself in some way because you can develop everything. It doesn't matter if it's self-discipline, self-love, and or whatever it is there.
Mhm.
So what is my point here is that in order to be self-disciplined, from my perspective, you might have several different skills around that which might help you to become self-disciplined. What I mean by that is one of the skills in my head is open-mindedness. So you need to be open-minded in order to become self-disciplined. And from my perspective, the more you are open-minded, the more you're open to learn the skill of self-discipline, right? So, so maybe the question can go in this direction. What kind of skills you might have to help you to become more
Yeah.
self-disciplined?
Yeah.
How does that sound? Yeah.
I see what you mean. I think the way I think about it is those are the components that I teach you in working together to ensure that you're able to apply the work. But
Yeah.
absolutely a growth mindset, believing that you can, open-mindedness, a great a mindset around failure, how you perceive failure, what you make it mean. Do you fail and stay down, or do you fail and get up? And how do you look at obstacles? All of that. So those are certainly pieces around mindset that are very helpful. But I don't think there are any prerequisites. I will take any client and I can help them be self-disciplined in the area that they want.
Mm.
So there's certainly things that can make it easier. Absolutely. If you're not open-minded, we have to work on that first and then start applying some of the things. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree that everyone who can come to you, you can help them in self-discipline, and definitely as you said, you can work around everything else so that it helps the
Mhm.
person is good doing that. Another thing which I was thinking in this direction is you already shared it actually, um, and this is to be comfortable with discomfort, right? That for me is a skill by itself, to be
Yes.
comfortable with discomfort and to be, because as you said, mm, some people are, some people they are not with that. And of course, that might be that. I'm sure that this is also part of the process. Also, your teaching and your coaching around. But yeah, that's that for me, honestly. And the interesting thing, which I'm just thinking now, this is interesting thing is that this year I was thinking that exactly self-discipline is very important for me for achieving a lot of the things which I do. And I wrote here several habits or skills I want to develop on my work here, and one of them is exactly be comfortable with discomfort, and the other one is control the impulse. Because I'm gonna just share something about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening. How is this author? Hormozy. You know him? I forgot his first name. He has,
Alex.
yeah, Alex Hormozy. So he was talking. I don't know in which podcast he was, Louis Halls or Tom Bellew. I don't remember which of these two. But they asked him what are the three skills a billionaires have, which help them to become a billionaire. And I remember he was saying that the three for him are, the first one is that they are um, they really believe that they can achieve everything. The second one is that they feel that they are not good enough, so they want to develop all the time. And the third one he said was control the impulse.
Yep.
So he said that they are masters in this skill.
Yes. So that is the
So
same
that's
thing.
why, yeah.
So
Yeah.
control the impulse to me equals self-discipline. But I love him. I think he's spot on, and he has introduced some beliefs that if we can adopt them, we can make great strides. So I love listening to him too. But I think what you said, discomfort, get comfortable with discomfort. I say that discomfort or the willingness to feel discomfort is the currency to your dreams, hands down. And so,
Yeah, and this is a big part of our work as human beings and as coaches, particularly me and
yeah,
you, working with clients, is to the moment people embody deeply the belief that it's all right to go against the grain, to go against this feeling of comfort in your body, that's the shift which can create so many changes afterwards.
yeah.
It's just a shift, Sometimes it's very simple, but it's very hard sometimes for people to
For,
just accept the fact that for a
Mhm.
while they're gonna feel it, they're
Yeah.
gonna use this muscle of to develop this muscle of being comfortable with discomfort, right?
Yes. I love that. I studied the Stoics a lot, and there's a lot of
Mm.
talking in there, and it's a beautiful concept. But I always am mindful to differentiate between the two types of discomfort: the discomfort of growth or the discomfort of stagnating and being in your comfort zone. Because you
Mm.
could be on the sidelines and feel very uncomfortable because you know you're capable of more. You know that you're living under your potential. That is uncomfortable. That is not the discomfort that you need to be comfortable with. You need to be comfortable with the discomfort of just stretching and doing things that feel scary, and you have a lot of self-doubt around, and go after it and get better at it. So I think sometimes people are like, whoa, I'm very uncomfortable, and so I'm embracing this. But if you're on the sidelines, that's not the right kind of discomfort.
No, I really want to talk for 2-3 minutes about something because I think I want to hear your opinion honestly that. So again, I'm gonna go to explain that I hope you're gonna understand exactly what I mean. Is, for example, people are the biggest distinction people can and is great to understand is when they need to go with their feeling and when they need to go against that. You understand what I mean? So
No.
some people say, so I'm gonna tell you that. So some people say, I always want to feel good. If I feel good, this means that I'm in the right direction, right? So
Mhm.
that's one of the actually this is one of the law of attraction's prerequisites that you need to go. A lot of people who talk about that. I need to feel all the time good. This means that I'm attracting things in life. So this is one concept, right? The other one we talk about is, for example, you go against the grain, right? For some time, you don't feel great when you go and you being self-disciplined with stuff. So where do you think? I mean, just tell me, when do you think you find the distinction between these two and the line between them? And is there a line for you?
I'm not an expert on the law of attraction, so I will tell you what I teach. And I
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
feel like discomfort that feels expansive, discomfort in a way, in a direction that you know is moving you forward, is the way to go. Um, feeling so I don't know much about the law of attraction necessarily, but um, feeling badly, I don't recommend it just for the sake of like beating yourself up, suffering through, being stuck in a place that you want to. But when you do the work that gets you to the things you want, discomfort is inevitable, but you know that that's the right kind of discomfort. You know that it's stretching you. It's like a good workout will sometimes feel uncomfortable in the moment, and then you regenerate, your muscles rebuild, and you know that that's the good kind of discomfort. So I guess the distinction I've made, is it expansive? Is it driving you forward? Does it feel, is it good pain in a way that you can tell the difference for you, versus wallowing in negativity, which is, there's no upside in that. But again, I'm not an expert on the law of attraction, so
No,
I might be
no.
speaking against what they teach.
So what I would say is that the good feeling for me, you can call it intuition or some kind of deep feeling you have inside is connected to that. In my opinion, you have the feeling that something is great to be done, or you need to go in certain direction,
Mhm.
but you know that in this direction you're going to have places where you're going to feel uncomfortable. I think the bigger picture is for me is when you put the vision, the goals towards something, you need to feel good about it in order to go towards it, right? But during this, this journey, you will have to go from your comfort zone and have some pain in a way in order to move forward and get what you want. So I just distinguish them. They're maybe in different places for me, different dimensions, you could say even. And I think that's what people, self-awareness helps people to get really into distinguishing between the other. That's my point on that. I'm just saying it because a lot of people are saying that, and when I talk to people and they say doesn't feel good, yeah, it doesn't, because you need to grow from that. You need to go to the next level of yourself in order to really be, I always say, ready for the next steps. Because I love this uh, this story about the butterfly and the caterpillar, right? When the butterfly has to, get out of the place, and then someone comes around it and just cuts it, and it falls down and dies because it's not ready to actually fly. And I believe self-discipline and the things you go, do, and the skills you develop around it helps you to become really ready to get what is coming.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.